Iran's Deputy Foreign Minister Kazem Gharibabadi told the ISNA news agency that Iran doesn't seek war, but if the US intervenes to support Israel, Tehran will use all its tools to defend itself and will teach aggressors a lesson. Iran and Israel have been locked in their worst direct exchanges in recent memory. Israeli airstrikes have targeted Iranian leadership, nuclear and military infrastructure. Iran has retaliated with missile attacks striking civilian areas in Israel. Both sides are experiencing civilian casualties and destruction. The International Atomic Energy Agency says Iran is enriching uranium up to 60%, a move condemned in the recent nuclear talks. Iran counters these are lawful under the Non-Proliferation Treaty and JCPOA framework. President Trump is weighing deeper involvement. Trump has deployed aircraft carriers, hinted at strikes on Iran, and demanded Iran's unconditional surrender, an ultimatum Tehran flatly rejects. That brings us to today's statement. Gharibabadi. Iran never welcomed any war and never sought to expand any conflict. If the US actively intervenes, we will teach aggressors a lesson. A strong warning, signaling Tehran's readiness to escalate if provoked. But Iran frames its approach as defensive. Deputy FM and other officials insist they're only responding to Israeli strikes and would act only against direct US intervention. Historically, Iran's approach blends religious and legal narratives. Supreme Leader Khamenei says Iran won't back down and that US military involvement would inflict irreparable damage. Meanwhile, international diplomacy continues. European ministers are meeting Iran to try to prevent further escalation. Israel has struck nuclear-linked sites. Iran has fired hundreds of missiles. Regional bases and shipping lanes could be next if the US enters the fray. Iraq, hosting US forces, faces looming pressure. From a geopolitical angle, any US involvement risks turning a bilateral exchange into a regional war. Iran hints at targeting US bases. The US has sent naval groups to the region. Economically, instability in the Persian Gulf could disrupt energy markets. Politically, US domestic divisions over foreign intervention complicate decision-making. At the same time, Iran's statements launch legal and cultural frames. Gharibabadi invokes Iran's treaty obligations and non-proliferation status, claiming any aggressive moves from the US or Israel would be legally unjustifiable. Consider the socio-economic angle. Iran is already under sanctions and domestic pressure. A wider war could devastate its fragile economy further, but leaders appear willing to risk it if they perceive US intervention.